Can you please give a big round of applause to Quentin Colmant, who's the Chief Executive Officer at Qover. Please come and join me. This is a metaphorical fireplace, by the way.
Sorry?
It's a metaphorical fireplace. Please come and move. Yeah,
that will be good.
I don't really want to talk to you over there. It's a bit too far for me to project. But look, thank you so much for being here. A reminder as well to our audience that we will be taking questions. You know the drill. I'm sure that you've actually downloaded the app. And don't try to get clever, because we actually head off the rude questions at the pass. We've done that before. Nothing gets past me. Quentin, it's great to see you. But look, Qover has earmarked its mission as building a global safety net for insurance. Okay, why do you feel that this safety net is needed now more than ever? There is the skeptic's view that maybe given what is happening, we've left it a bit late.
Yeah, so I think I always like to remind first when I'm in an audience with insurance people that we are already on a mission with insurance, because insurance is first of all about caring, protecting and enabling. So we should be all proud of us to work on that for the society. We are on a mission at Qover to build a private safety net or a global safety net, because our North Star, or my personal North Star, would be to live in a society where you don't need to buy insurance anymore. And that might sound awkward, but actually the idea would be that whatever happened to anyone, everywhere, you are fully protected because insurance is embedded everywhere. And so to answer your question, why no? The answer is quite straightforward. We've seen over the last 10 years an emergence of a lot of digital businesses, neobank, gig players, prop tech, and so on. And those ones are more than ever digitally connected and closer to the final customers. And a lot of traditional businesses are embracing the same kind of approach, and the technology enabled to bring embedded insurance in a smooth way and closer to the people. And so the momentum is right now to build this global safety net.
Okay, I want to focus on market dynamics, because look, so much is happening. It is a constantly shifting landscape, but what are the trends and opportunities that you personally feel are shaping this new era of insurance? Because it is a new era, not just because of the circumstances, but also the end users, people like me, what we want, what we expect, and the pressure, if you like, that's putting on you guys.
Okay, I would love to speak about AI, but I'm not going to do that. You know, there are a lot of patterns happening right now in the insurance, and on purpose, focusing on embedded insurance, I will focus on 4 of them. Number one is the freedom of service, you know, the pan-European approach. And let's take an example. One of our clients is Revolut, and because we're in the UK, I hope everyone knows the neobank Revolut. What is interesting is that if you are a Revolut user in Germany, France, Spain, or in the UK, it's the same app, it's the same product, it's the same experience, right? And all those businesses, they are building pan-European solutions. They see Europe as one country, including the UK, basically. And so when it comes to embedding insurance into their value proposition, they also need to have a partner that views Europe basically as one country and then can provide insurance globally. And what traditional insurers have done in the past to cover 32 countries, they basically have built 32 different insurance factories in the 32 countries of the European Economic Area in the UK, and that makes that very difficult. So my first advice is use and abuse of the concept of freedom of service to cover Europe and the UK. The second one is actually the death of what I call one-size-fits-it-all insurance product. What I mean is that embedded insurance gives you the opportunity to put yourself in the shoes of the customer and understand what journey they go through and build bespoke insurance product or solution for every partnership. So, you know, the solution we have with Monzo is different than Revolut. Even if you take the bike industry, which I agree it's a niche market, you know, the behavior of the customer will depend on the brand of the bike. Are you a race bike user or an e-bike user? It's a different risk. Is the e-bike connected with a GPS tracker? It's something different. So you need the ability to, on the fly, launch any type of insurance product because every partnership is totally different. So one is freedom of service. Second is the, sorry for that. The second is the bespoke solution. Third one is being tech first. Of course, if you connect embedded insurance into third-party ecosystem, you need to be a tech-first company that can easily, smoothly integrate your API and your solution. So you are shifting from being insurance first to tech first. It's not tech only, it's tech first. And last but not least, we speak a lot about customer centricity. I'm more looking to the user experience, or you can sublime user experience, and it's really a focus on being the convenience. How can you have the insurance team working for the UX people and not the other way around, where you have the insurance people defining the product and then UX trying to build the journey and being something convenience. So that's the 4 patterns that are, for me, critical in embedded insurance.
Okay, and given that 4-pattern formation, how critical is time to market?
Well, I mean, first of all, I want to, I come from the insurance world, and I hate something is when you have a insurtech guy like me on the stage saying, insurers don't innovate. That's totally wrong. Let's be clear, most insurance companies are there since 150 years. You cannot survive major economical crisis and adapt to change in society over 150 years if you are not unique and amazing in combining resilience and innovation. So when risk carriers or large brokers ask me, I think we can do what Qover do, I say, yes, absolutely you could do it. The question is when can you do it? And I will tell you why time to market is super important, and it's happening right now. And again, I'm going to take an example of a neobank. 10 years ago, when they were created, and if you take Revolut, founded in 2015, I think today they have more than 30 million users in Europe. They are growing super fast. 10 years ago, the only thing they needed was to raise capital to build the solution. And VC investors were only looking about the number of users that grow into your ecosystem. But now, today, the world has changed. Those business models is not only growth, but they need to increase the revenue per user, and they also need to become profitable. And we all know in the room, as insurance experts, that insurance solutions are super strong to enable business to generate more revenue and create profitability. So what is happening is that all those businesses that have been disruptive, that are now being more established, but also traditional players trying to adjust and become like disruptive digital native players, there is a unique momentum right now to embed insurance into their value proposition. And it is a kind of intrication, and I use this quantum physics world intrication to tell that when you are digital native and you connect in a digital native ecosystem, it's super connected, it's glued together. And to remove that, it takes a lot of effort, it's almost impossible. So if you don't do it right now, you are missing the train, and 5 or 10 years from now, it will be too late.
Okay then, we will continue the conversation, but a reminder, of course, to the audience, please do send in your questions. Some of you have started doing that already, and I promise we will try to get through as many of those questions as we can in the time available. But picking up where we left off, Quentin, how are Qover solutions actually making it possible for insurers to actually pivot towards the changes which are happening in the market? I think we got a sense of that, in fact, from the 4 pillars, and just the need to actually connect everything now, but also the change of mindset as well. Stop looking at countries individually. Look at a block, basically, Europe, Asia, whatever.
So basically, 1 year ago, we decided to launch a brand new category called embedded insurance orchestration. And we call it orchestration to highlight the level of sophistication it is needed if you do embedded insurance on a pan-European level. So embedded insurance or insurance is much more than a policy schedule or terms and conditions. It's about navigating a very sophisticated value chain from the insurance product, the pricing, the tech platform where you need API to be integrated, white label front-end, policy administration system, claim management system, user portal, dashboard. But also, when you operate on a pan-European level, you need to serve the final user that speaks a lot of different languages. So you need the customer care, you need the claim management, you need the ability to integrate your solution into the third party, so integrator. You need business review meetings with the client to continuously improve your product and your solution. And so, long story short, on a pan-European level, you really need someone that supports you as an orchestrator. And this is what Qover is. And we go to risk carrier and we go to a large broker and we say, look, we can be there to enable you to embrace embedded insurance because we can be your orchestrator. And let's be clear, we don't care to be invisible. We don't want to put our brand to the consumers. We are more than happy to be behind you in the backstage or to be more visible depending on you. And you can basically pick and choose what you want. Either you ask Qover to orchestrate the full value chain, which happen in several of our deals, or you ask us to only orchestrate the tech, or the tech plus the customer care, and so on.
But basically, they can cherry pick what they want from you.
Exactly, and this is really the position of Qover. We are an enabler of the market and an orchestrator of embedded insurance experience.
I love the idea of the orchestra, the conductor. I was also going to say the supermarket. You can take the bits that you want and pay for them later. But I mean, there has been a very distinctive paradigm shift in the way that OEMs actually interact with risk carriers and, of course, the large brokers. So how can you address that shift? Or rather, how should insurers themselves address that shift?
Yeah, so you know, embedded insurance is very broad. Huh? We think about a lot of banking enhancement products, we think about e-commerce and so on. And you mentioned OEM, and it's a very interesting one because, first of all, when I started Qover, and my co-founder is in the room, I always say I will never do motor insurance because motor insurance is not rational, it's only about the price. And you know, today it's one of our biggest line of business. What is interesting in the shift in the OEM world is that you basically have two parts. Part number one are pure EV players. And those pure EV players, they see again Europe as one country, they sell car online, they might have showrooms, and basically they need embedded insurance in the way I was describing to you, multi-country, smooth experience, super convenient, and so on. But then what is occurring, and there is a major shift happening with traditional OEM, which is that they, in the past, were basically outsourcing their insurance program to risk carrier and large broker. Nowadays, they understand that insurance can be a stronger part of their value proposition, help them to do prevention, help them to be better connected to the final user. They could integrate insurance value proposition into their app, into their cars, and so on. And they are trying to get more control of the insurance program and to own the insurance program themselves. And so they are also looking to build a unified insurance experience across their client. However, the big difference with OEM compared to other type of business is that they don't want necessarily always a pan-European insurance solution. They might say, look, in that country, I have a preferred risk carrier. I want to keep that relationship. In this other country, you know, I have my own captive. Or in a third country, I don't have capacity. Can you bring capacity? And so what is interesting is that for OEM trying to own their insurance program, it's about creating a patchwork at European level of different balance sheets, which means that they need an orchestration layer. And this is what is happening at Qover with a lot of EV player deals that we do. But more and more, we are integrating all the major RFP to be the orchestrator. And that's a big change in paradigm.
Right, so you were trying to avoid EVs, but you're stuck with it, basically.
No, I don't try to avoid them, but I can give you a few concrete examples.
I'm teasing you. I am teasing you. Don't worry. It was just really response to what you said before you were answering the question. But look, before we actually take questions from the audience, what would your advice be to those insurers who want to ride the embedded insurance wave? Because that is where everything is happening. It is the pointer to the future. If you're out of it now, well, that's it. You've just made life unnecessarily difficult for yourself.
So I think, first of all, the insurance pie is very big. And embedded insurance is just a slice of the insurance pie, right? And a lot of insurance companies and large brokers, they are very busy with all the other slices. Qover, it's easy. We only focus on the embedded insurance one. Huh? So our life is much easier than your life. Having said that, when it comes to the question, how do you want to tackle embedded insurance, you can decide, maybe you do it by yourself, maybe you don't do it because you don't believe in it, or maybe to start to reflect that embedded insurance is much more different, there is a level of sophistication, pan-European approach, and so on, that it's a question of partnerships. And so I believe that what is essential to understand if you want to go to embedded insurance is to rethink how you can reconstruct the insurance value chain by creating an ecosystem of partnership, including an orchestration layer. And if I could have my crystal ball about how it will be in the future, I really believe that the concept of embedded insurance orchestration and orchestrator will become more and more visible and prominent to this world.
Okay, this is where I ask you to take a breath and just to relax, because now we are taking questions. Are you ready?
Always.
Okay, we'll try and squeeze in as many as we can in the time available. Embedded means that there is no professional insurance agent who could explain the cover. So, how do you solve for this?
I don't really agree. I think, I mean, you're right to a certain extent. Having said that, the advantage of embedded insurance is to be able to understand what the client needs and what is the best product you could deliver. I'll give you an example. We are very active in the gig economy. We are the insurance partner of Deliveroo, that you know, or also Glovo. Think about it. A rider that is working for Deliveroo or Glovo, they are freelance, right? So the social security or the protection they have is not that good. Let's also be clear that those persons are not the most financially educated people, and they do not understand the risk they are facing because their job is to deliver food as quick as possible on a bike when it's night, right? And so if they go to a traditional risk carrier and say, I need an income protection insurance, medical insurance, and so on, it will be a very expensive premium. And first of all, they will never do that because they are not aware. So embedded insurance is about, the partner and cover reflecting how can we protect your community, what are the risks that are faced by your community, and then you build really the right insurance solution and experience. So I think it removes, actually, it's better for the society because you really tailor and bring the right solution at the right moment. And by the way, of course, we have online chat. People can speak with us. There is a lot of information. So there is a direct contact with professional agents. But since it's digital, it's totally transparent. And you also avoid the risk of mis-selling. Because let's be clear, a lot of agents being called professional are sometimes a bit misleading the client or mis-selling insurance product, which doesn't exist when it's embedded and fully transparent.
Okay, we've got about 2 minutes left, so if you can be brief in your responses so that we can squeeze in more questions. Invisible insurance is often less valued and does not generate engaged customers. How will that help with the protection gap?
So I think the problem in this, so the question is, a lot of people have insurance and they are not aware of. There is an insurance in their credit card. The problem in this world is not over-insurance. The problem in this world is under-insurance. And I could not care less that someone has 5 times the same insurance coverage, because at the end, on a global level, each coverage will be 5 times cheaper and you will pay exactly the same price. So I think we should all be on a mission, actually, to embed insurance everywhere so that it's invisible, so you don't buy it and you don't care because whatever happened to you, you are covered. And in particular, I have a mission, which is we should, as insurance company, try to maximize the loss ratio. And it's a bit tricky what I'm saying, but you need to be profitable, but your mission is to create value to the society. The value you create is measured by the loss ratio. And you should be on a mission to maximize loss ratio.
Okay, then I'm going to give you 2 questions in one here. First up, what share of the market will be embedded in 10 years' time? And is the future of 100% embedded insurance the end of specialized bespoke insurance coverage? You've got about 30 seconds.
So for me, embedded insurance is one slice of the pie. It will not replace everything, but it's a fast-growing one. So no, it's not the end of fully specialized bespoke insurance. It will live together. And the market size, I don't know. There are reports speaking about 700 billion euro market, other about 3 trillion when you add life insurance. In any case, there is a huge potential which is created by the emergence of more and more digital native businesses because it's the right spot to integrate insurance.
Okay, you've done that, 25 past, that's absolutely brilliant. We are on time. I think that deserves an extra round of applause to Quentin.
Thank you.